So, Sean Grayson's past record, I got more Bkack Hypocrisy coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Conversations Like Your Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, as we know, Sean Grayson, the cop who shot and killed Sonya Massey, was arrested and he's in jail right now. And personally, I agree with that. I think he was wrong. From what evidence I've seen, the body cam footage, his response was basically, he's a hothead and he shouldn't be a cop. I mean, this is the reason why cops do all types of tests, police departments do all types of testing, psychological testing, to try to weed out the bad apples, to stop bad people like that from being cops, because it's a publicity nightmare to have people like that as police officers. They should everybody's not cut out to be one. He shouldn't have been one. But the media basically brought out his basically prior record. And it was thrown out there before us, that, he shouldn't have been a cop. He had 2 DUIs, and he was questionably discharged from the military. There was some female filed some type of charges against him, a complaint against him. He worked at 5, prior to police departments prior to that job. So his history was definitely checkered, and it's questionable. But like I said, no test is going to be perfect. There's always going to be bad apples that fall through the bunch. I'm just glad that he's in jail now and they can finally put him away and do the best they can, continue to do the best they can to keep hotheads like him from being cops, because they create problems. Especially in America, when you have people crying about cops being racist. They definitely don't need fools like this. Anyway, but where's the hypocrisy in this? The people who's talking about his past record, these are the same people saying that George Floyd's criminal past is irrelevant. That George Floyd's criminal past, no matter what he did in the past, which he was a criminal, and his past was just as checkered, if not worse, than Sean Grayson's. It didn't matter to that particular case. Okay, so then by that logic, then Sean Grayson's past shouldn't matter to that particular case as well. You can't be flip-flopping, picking and choosing in which history matters. So when it's convenient for black folk, a person's history matters, but then when it becomes inconvenient, the history doesn't matter. That's BS. Again, I don't like hypocrisy. That's two things. One of the 2 things I really can't stand. And hypocrisy is one of those. And this is complete hypocrisy on their part. Now, I know some people will say, well, it's different because George Floyd was a citizen, private citizen. Grayson was the law enforcement. Well, that doesn't mean anything, because it is true that police officers are held to a higher standard because they represent law for the city, they represent authority. The problem is that they're only slightly higher, because as a citizen with rights and responsibilities, you have rights and responsibilities. The key word being responsibilities. So as a citizen, you are responsible. You want the freedom, you got to take the responsibility that goes along with the freedom. So that's why I say that police officers are basically barely a notch above citizens, because citizens have rights. So if you're going to hold a cop accountable because he's authority, well, then you have to hold citizens accountable as well, because they have rights and responsibilities to go with those rights. Can't be flip-flopping. So it was the same way with Trayvon Martin, right? These same people had no problem with the use of a 12-year-old picture. They paraded a 12-year-old picture of Trayvon Martin around. They didn't show us the when he was an adult wannabe thug, older wannabe thug with tattoos in the face. They didn't show us that. They gave us a 12-year-old picture. They had no problem with that. And essentially it's the same thing. You cannot tell me that Trayvon Martin, who, like I say, wannabe thug, try to present that thug attitude, did not get himself into the situation, it should not be taken into consideration, because he probably got himself into the situation probably by approaching. And any average person would have just kept going and mind their own business. A thug wants to go out and challenge and fight. But that didn't matter because, well, it had nothing to do with that particular case, even though Trayvon Martin wasn't killed by a police officer, though. But anyway, like I said, you black folks, we cannot flip-flop and be hypocrites. Either history and past record matter or it doesn't. You cannot be picking and choosing when you want to use history or when you don't want to use it. It's either all or not. I say it's all, and definitely should be used. I say that Sean Grayson history should be used, Trayvon Martin's history should be used, and George Floyd's history should be used. And in any cases like that, it should be used because it's relevant. Anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. This is more black hypocrisy for y'all. And it seems like the black hypocrisy honestly never stops, even though I haven't did a whole lot of videos on them. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And always, as always, y'all, until next time.